Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you all are in good condition. Stay healthy, okay? Eat healthy food, drink water, and don't forget to exercise. So, in this video, I want to talk about my research background and my literature review. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Gepa Utama with name 2012021193 from class 4G. Next, please. Okay, first, let's we talk about my research background. Next. Okay, at this part, I I want to talk about claiming my centrality of my research, that describing the research problem and providing the evidence to support why this topic is important to study. So that is according to the NAN 1991, speaking is an activity to explain someone in certain situation or an activity to report something. Meanwhile, Tarigan at 1990 said that speaking is a way to communicate that affect our daily life. In the LA, speaking skills are also important to convey our answer, opinion, or views so that they can be conveyed clearly. However, if the speaking skill is not qualified, of course, it will be difficult for us to convey the meaning from our point of view or our answer. Although the question given are quite easy and students already have the answer, they cannot express their answer well. That by Yesin 2021. Next, please. Okay, for the next part is my topic generalization. That is, I provide statement about the current states of knowledge, consensus, or practice of or description of the phenomena that are that is there have been many study relates to improving speaking skill, but mostly discussing technique with literacy, video game, and movie only. There are still many learning techniques to improve speaking skill that can be explored, such as debate, gossip, role play, survey, panauticon, concept cartoon. That is from Ratminingsih 2017. Next, please. Okay, for the next part is my reviewing item from previous research. And in this part, I synthesizing the prior research that further support to need to study the research problem. And but this is not a literature review, but more a reflection of key study that have thoughts upon but perhaps not fully addressed with the topic. That is, English movie can make atmosphere in the classroom into a better situation, more life, as there are many interesting activity. So students were motivated in joining speaking class, let's say by Parwati and Inaya at 2019. In in Hismanoglu and Chalak at 2019, using drama-based speaking activity can help students to learn English actively, making our student able to take a part in speaking lesson or activity. Then on the other hand, using the debate method can make students able to develop competence in researching current issue, arguing logically, thinking from various perspectives, distinguish between information, asking convincing question, compiling accurate information so that it is more suitable if used at higher level of education to train their high order thinking skill, let's say by Derby and at 27. Next, please. Okay, so the next part is I want to indicating the gap, that is developing the research problem around a gap or understudied area of the literature. So that is role play is a teaching strategy introduced by Zinger at 1987. This strategy is carried out by means that students are given certain roles and they have to speak and behave in those roles. Initially, this strategy was created with the belief that with student acting, they can hone their language learning and production skill. That's said by Yinger at 1987. So, what if this method is applied in Indonesia to teach English, which is not the mother tongue? Next, please. Okay, this is the last part from my research background, that is announcing the present research. I want to describing the purpose of my study in terms of what research is going to do, what I going to do or accomplish. That is, this study aims to know, is there any student learning outcome influence in implementing role play strategy, and to know, is there any effectiveness of role play as a teaching strategy to increase student speaking ability. Next, please. Okay, everyone. Let's we Next we will talk about my literature review. Next. So the first part is I talk about the importance of the speaking skill. That is, English speaking skill is one of the skill of language to be required in global interaction or communication. That's say by Parwati and Inaya at 2019. It cannot be denied that English speaking skill becomes the most favorite skill needed for students in Indonesia recently. Students must get information in English. However, it is not convenient to master all skill. There are so many difficulty in mastering each skill. Speaking is an activity used from someone to communicating with others. It takes place everywhere and has become part of our daily activity. When someone speaks, he or she interact and use the language to express his or her idea, feeling, and thought. He or she also share the information with others through the communication. That's said by Anil and at 2016. Speaking skill is partly a reflection of someone whether she or he master in language or not. That's said by Malina Hikmah at and Pahamsa at 2019. Thus, it can be concluded that speaking skill as the most important skill of all four skill. Next, please. Okay, for the next part of my literature review is I want to describing role play teaching technique. That is, in teaching speaking, the teacher needs a good technique to improve student speaking skill. One of them is by using role play. Playing the role play is a method of acting out specific ways to interact with others in an imaginary situation and to promote interaction in the classroom and increase the motivation. That's said by Yasin at 2021. In addition, Burton at 26 say that role play is an activity of speaking when you put yourself into someone else or put yourself in an imaginary situation. Based on the explanation above, roleplay is not only used for interactive teaching in classroom, but also to stimulate students in real life situation. With this learning technique that gives students the opportunity to act like the people involved or in the desired circumstance, students practice directly to take on the role of others. Okay, next please. Okay, for the next part is I want to talk about advantage and disadvantage of role play method. That is, McSherry and Jones at 2000 describe the different types of role play with interesting example from science education and suggestion for all teachers to consider. According to McSherry and Jones at 2000, although role playing is not difficult for many learners, it is advisable to start short role playing games and move gradually to longer role play. After the teacher gains some initial experience and confidence, also role play activities should not be carried out immediately before the examination because question can cause stress for student and negatively affect the effectiveness of this activity. That is from Guest and Chick O'Donnell from at 2016. In this course, activity are timed appropriately so that they do not conflict and are not affected by question or other important event. In addition, a small number of teachers have recently started using role play in system analysis and design course. In particular, a broader context, Green and Brzezinski at 2012 suggests that student role playing is suitable for teaching software skill that is personal and social to student and professional and teaching software. And this paper described the distinctive feature, provide example and present to question that is there any student learning outcome in influence in implementing role play strategy? And is there any effectiveness of role play as a teaching strategy to increase student speaking ability? Okay, everyone, that's all about my talk about my research background and my research literature review. I hope you understand about my research and thank you for watching my video and see you